Yes, we are. We're gonna have dogs. We're gonna have swimming pool, movie stars.
We're gonna have all the fast tickets and be weird as we want.
Word.
What up, fuckers?
What up, baby? How are you?
No. It's happening, Squirrely. It's over. What up, bro? It's over, man. I know. Fucking all liquidation for Bitcoin, bro. Yeah. Dude. Worse. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you what box things real quick. It's super big. I'm just gonna forward you something. Rabbi back to business for
Where's Mockingbird?
Wow, Rabbi, how far away is it? It's dirty, messy.
Pardon me?
Damn, fine, right?
Because I'm a personal fangirl, baby. How you doing, Noticer? I like my shirt. Noticer, how we doing, baby? Noticer, how are you?
You hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, okay. How are you?
Kicking ass,
Where
taking
were you?
names.
Where are you?
Undisclosed location. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
That's fair. How are you?
Oh, great, thank God. I'm somewhere between Area 51, Dolce Base, and the Bermuda Triangle. So here's the plan. I think I have more stable internet here. I'm hoping so. Maybe, maybe not. But what I plan on doing is I'm going to take a nap. That's first. Then I'm going to start doing 24/7 Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Enu for the next 2 months, maybe, on Twitter Spaces, in addition to Telegram. So here's what we're going to do. You know what a Venus flytrap is, Noticer?
The actual plan.
Yeah. We're going to be like a Venus flytrap, basically. We're like this. And this is the Twitter space. And somebody's going to come in that Twitter space and be like, hey, I see your coin's performing really well. Or, hey, I see these photos everywhere, whatever. Or we're going to be running trivia and karaoke just to get people in there. That's that fly that just starts crawling into the spindles of the Venus flytrap. Then, once they're there, we say, hey, do you know about our Telegram? They're like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, we run our Telegram 24/7. You can always watch us whenever you want. And that's the best way to connect to us. And then we get them into the community. And essentially, then it's not just like, oh, we met on Twitter Spaces, but now they're here. Now they can connect. Now they know that there's something live. And that's how I think we're really going to get a ton of people in here very quickly and continue to blow up.
I like it. I like it. It's a good plan. It's always good to have a running Twitter space.
I'm in agreement. And I've seen coins do this. I would say I'm somewhat an expert in running 24-hour Twitter spaces to some extent. One, it's much easier said than done. So I can say, oh, we're going to do it for 2 months. It's not going to happen. We'll get 20-hour ones. We'll get 4-hour ones that run. You know how it is. Twitter's never that constant. Now, I've worked with other coins before I met you guys, and we wanted to do a 420-hour space, which is like something like 17 days or something like that. Anyway, which was a good idea. Now the one person who was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like I'm going to be the person to. Like I was like, look, I can help with trivia, I can help with co-hosting, but my internet's not that stable, so I don't really trust it to be the person to do this. Plus, I'm not in your coin. This is just like I'm just here to help. And they're like, no, you're right. Okay, so a guy goes out and he buys like a new phone for it, buys a new line and everything. Well, it turns out there's a maximum on an iOS device that we know, even with a brand new one, of 24 hours. You can only run a space for 24 hours and it automatically ends. Now, I have 33 different devices and I've tried it on Android and iOS. And I run into that issue of that 24-hour maximum. Now, some people can get it done through like a computer, or perhaps they have like another Android device or something that can do it. It's very rare to be able to run more than 24 hours. That doesn't really matter all that much. We're not going for the world's longest or any of that stuff. What we're going for is striking while the iron's hot. We're a hot commodity right now. We're going to be online, having that impression in the space all the time. We're going to be tweeting it out. We're going to be sharing it, and it's going to be really interesting too. Yeah, we're going to blow ourselves up because we're the best coin in the world, but we're going to have karaoke, we're going to have trivia, we're going to get girls in there, we're going to make it a party, and I'm excited to do that.
That's very exciting. I'm excited for the trivia. I had a lot of fun the other day, and then we were gone the following days after that. I was like, RABBI. Okay, here you are.
I'm ready. Absolutely. Thank God. Hopefully better than ever. So, as you see, I have a new setup. It's a lot cleaner. And we're live on 4 different YouTubes, and we're live on Instagram, 2 Instagrams, and so it's the same kind of like wild setup that I have. I just have to probably be a little quiet, and it's not the same environment, so I have to be quieter and things, but and cleaner. But I intend on doing that, and yeah. What else do I have to do? So I have to take a nap, and then we're gonna run those Twitter spaces. I'm excited for it. How are you, Noticer?
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see what's going on in my world. I'm trying to sell a truck.
What
I'm
kind?
trying to sell my vehicle. And then I'm going to go leave on world tour for a
Sweet.
long time. So,
Want to take me with you?
yeah, you wanna go abroad?
I do.
Okay.
Excellent.
Come along.
I'm gonna fit in your
We'll get you in
suitcase.
Thailand.
Hell yeah, man. It'll be wild.
Yeah.
Cool,
But
man.
otherwise, I'm good. Pretty much raining here in my part of the world. And
Really?
yeah,
Excellent.
just watching crypto with her and this and that. Here I am with you now. So
Beautiful.
we'll
Well,
get to that.
it's good to be back. And I see that we have Rajesh in here. Pleasure to see Rajesh. Tiki, GB, of course, holding down Canada. Tempura, holding down Great State of Texas. Old Man of Coin, of course, and Bitcoinium, Leviosa. All solid heavy hitters in here. No, I'm glad to be back. I'll do the stream for a long, long time, but we're going to take the stream another level. As I was saying to Noticer, if you weren't aware, I'm going to take a nap because I'm very tired. But then, once I wake, we are going to do trivia. We're going to do 24-hour Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 email spaces. And we're going to just bring people in like a Tommy gun or like a gear work. Like anybody who gets in that Twitter space, we're going to bring them into our Telegram. We're going to show them that this is a really great community and they're going to want to be a part of this. So I'm very excited for that.
Love it. Love it. Well, okay, you enjoy your nap. Hope you get some good rest. And ping me when you want to do a space.
Excellent. So here's the plan. When I'm doing this, okay, so here's the key. What up, man? Here's the key. When we're doing a space and we know it, the biggest issue that any space runs into is the rug, where just for whatever reason, the app goes down or whatever. So I feel the best way around that is that constant communication, exactly what you're saying, Noticer. So if it goes down, boom, ping in the chat, hey, we're starting a new one back up, or we're starting one up. So Noticer, of course, and we'll tag you and make sure that you're aware, and everybody else. So with that, my friends, enjoy. Talk amongst yourselves, babies.
Sounds good. See you guys later.
I'm here. Just one moment. I'm here, just one moment. What up, baby? How are you? Live in the gym, undisclosed location. Catch me and see what's new. Somewhere between Area 51, Dolce Base, and the Bermuda Triangle. If I told you any more, I'd have to kill you.
What you got planned for the day?
I'm about to take one of the world's best naps. Then we're going to do 24/7 spaces. Thanks, baby.
It's a very nice room you have, Rabbi.
Thanks, baby. We're going to make millions. I appreciate it, Fatty. We're going to do 24/7 Twitter spaces after I take a nap, so get ready.
My body is ready. I'm awesome.
Excellent. That's definitely based.
Nice t-shirt.
Thank you.
I have to do something in my house. And maybe later.
Excellent. Sounds good, my friend.
I gotta get up for it next day.
conference. Now let's take a look at this video right now. Welcome, Michael Trent. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Open Minds for giving me the opportunity to join all of you today. And what I'd like to do for you this morning is give you a brief overview of Project Aquarius, to give you some specific details regarding the interaction that Dr. Dan Burish had with an extraterrestrial called J-Rock. And we've got some very quick announcements before we begin here. Number one, the information, drawings, and illustrations highlighted in this presentation originated from directly the testimony and direction of Dr. Dan Burish. So in other words, I didn't make this up. This comes directly from Dr. Dan Burish. He will be available after this presentation to address all your questions. And number two is a disclaimer. The drawings and computer-generated forensic composite illustrations shown in this presentation do not conform 100% to Dr. Dan and Marcy's testimony or descriptions and should be considered strictly as a visual aid, specifically designed to give the general public an overall idea of what the S4 facility looked like. So in other words, I didn't get this 100% correct. There are some minor errors here and there in the renderings, but it's definitely sufficient to give all of us here today a good understanding and visual aid regarding what the S4 facility looked like. Now, this is the breakdown of what we'll be talking about today. I'll give you a background on Dr. Dan Burish. We'll be discussing level 4-1. We'll be talking about walking the line. We'll describe what that actually means, what it pertains to. I'm going to give you a virtual blueprint, floor-by-floor walkthrough of the 9 hangar bays and all the way through the facility. We'll consider the extraterrestrial and alien craft because there is a difference. We'll talk about the Roswell craft. We'll talk about the propulsion research laboratory at S4. We'll consider the catwalk, the files department, and the cafeteria. For level 4-2, we'll consider Project Sidekick, the weapons research and development, Alice in Wonderland Rabbit, this is a good historical note, Looking Glass Device, Stargate's ERBs or Einstein-Rosen bridges, the doctrine of convergent timeline paradox. Dropping down to level 4-3, we'll consider the MJ12 residential suites, the boardroom, the culture department, and analysis department. 4-4, we'll look at the waiting pads, the biocontainment labs, badge board, and decontamination procedure. And finally, at level 4-5, which is the lower floor of the facility, we'll consider the clean sphere, the scissor lift, the lighting, the iris aperture, the kick plates, airlock, and the test, which is the totally encapsulated suit. So that's the layout of what we'll be talking about today. So who is Dr. Dan Burish? He was the youngest person ever to be elected into the Los Angeles Microscopical Society. And in 1985, he received his bachelor degree in biological sciences, and in 1986, a bachelor degree in psychology. In 1987, Dan explored the feasibility of becoming a priest here at St. Patrick's School of Theology. However, that didn't quite work out, so we actually had to bypass that. Now, in 1989, it was Dr. Edward Teller who arranged for Dan to take classes at the University of New York, Stony Brook, and he earned his PhD there. So I asked this question to all of you. Where have we seen this gentleman before, Dr. Edward Teller? Where have we seen him come up in the stories of these type of craft and vehicles before? It was none other than Dr. Teller who arranged for, allegedly, Bob Lazar to get his interview at EG&G at McCarran International Airport, and that's how he got his job at S4. So we have secondary independent confirmation that Dr. Edward Teller was involved. In 1991, he was employed at Desert Storm as a biowarfare expert. Now, in 1994, he received his Q clearance at S4, and he began working on something called Project Aquarius. And I will draw your attention here to the aircraft sectional chart that anyone can get at any local airport. This is something that's readily available. And if you look up here on the right-hand corner, you've got R-4808N. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most highly guarded airspace, Dreamland airspace in America. This is the borderline here. You'll notice Groom Lake is right up here, so we can see it does exist. Approximately 12 miles south of Groom Lake, there's something called Papoose Lake, or Area S4. And it's important to note that if you ever try to break into this airspace within the 4808N airspace Dreamland, three things immediately happen. Number one, ATC at Dreamland, Air Traffic Control, will not allow you clearance to enter into their airspace. Number two, they will immediately, if you do not egress the area, they will immediately scramble an F-16 who will perform a particular maneuver where they'll fly perpendicular to your flight path at about 100 feet away from your aircraft, and then when you fly into his jet wash, it will either depart from controlled flight, or you might end up wrecking one of your wings or tearing one of your wings off. So that's the second thing. And the third and final thing is you'll receive a final warning to exit the area, and if nothing happens, they will lock on with a Sidewinder missile and they will neutralize the target. So the bottom line is, don't try to break into Dreamland airspace. Okay, so at S4, again, he received his clearance, and he worked under the direction of the Naval Research Laboratory and the Defense Intelligence Agency. So these are the two outfits that are running the program at Area S4. The EG&G terminal, 737-200, how do you get